your daughter for the rest of my life. Say yes, cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, but the answer is no. Why you gotta be so rude?
Never listened to this song yet.
That's a great question, isn't it? Why you gotta be so rude? Well, Toronto reggae fusion band Magic celebrating the milestone 10 years since they burst onto the music scene with this #1 single, Rude. And they are back here at home for a show in a couple of days at the Axis Club.
So we're joined live by lead singer Nasri right now on CP24 Breakfast, fresh off of LA Times. So thank you for joining us.
morning.
It is super early where you are. Nasri, 10 years since Rude was made. This was like a serious chart topper. I mean, like, it's now part of the billion stream club on Spotify.
Right.
When you made this song, did you think that it would have such an appeal globally?
No, not at
okay.
all. No, I think that was like one of the 10 songs written that week.
Yeah.
We were writing on a writing frenzy. We had just started the band, and our guitar player Mark was always hounding me about the chorus of this song. He was like, "You got to work on that song. There's a hit."
Yeah.
And he kind of called it. For me, it was just whatever came out of me that day. And
Wow.
and then the only reason why it came out is because it was the first song done. And we were unsigned, and we put it on YouTube. And then for about 6 months, nobody noticed it. And then it got discovered by a man named Charles Chavez, who I had already been writing for his artist, for Pitbull and a bunch of people. And he was like, "Who's singing?" I was like, "Oh, that's me." And he's just like, "Oh, you could sing?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know." And then I'm like, "I got like a band." And then next, we were signed to Sony, and about 6 months later, it was #1.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and the song has a great sort of story narrative. There's an arc to it, right? So I think, and it's got a really catchy hook. I mean, let's be honest, that's there as well. We call it a #1 single, but not #1 in your home country. Was that weird that it went
did go #1 here?
Oh, in the notes I have it says #6
Oh,
in
man,
Canada,
come on,
but #1
Canada.
in the U.S. That's what I'm
Let
saying.
us
So
down.
now, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be corrected.
You
It
know
wouldn't be
what?
the
I
first
don't know
time.
how the charts work. I never looked at it.
Yeah,
So-
#1 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100.
Okay.
But not in
Oh, no,
Canada.
yeah, it was
#6
#1
in
for
Canada
6
is what it
weeks
says
in
here,
America,
Damn.
Yeah.
I think it was
So that hasn't
#1 in
even
Latin
occurred to you
America
then?
for like 5 months. It was like kind
Come
of
on,
crazy.
wow.
It was like a 3-month incline, and it kind of stayed that way for 6 weeks or something. or
That's
longer.
crazy. We
Yeah.
don't pay any attention to things
that
like
sort of answers the question.
You know,
Yeah.
for me, when it all happened, it was like I was like writing for other artists. So like I was in the studio still with all these artists, like working, doing my day job, and then all of a sudden I had a #1 record. And I was like, should I grow my hair out? Like, am I like a reggae guy now? And I was like, well, I grew up in Scarborough. I can pull this off. And then I ended up, just trying to take on as much as the persona as I could. And it was like that. It was just like,
How do you do that though? How do you write for yourself in your own band and then write for others? Is it like, because do you put
we
like a
call
different,
it
different
the
mindset?
doctors call it ADHD.
Okay.
It is a totally different mindset, of course, because it's like it's character driven. So it's like if I was to write a song about you, I would ask you a couple questions about yourself,
Right.
and then I would just be like, got it. So, you fit into the kind of the box like this. And with Magic, we had a template, which was like, how do we do like a modern day, Police meets Bob Marley meets No Doubt,
That's what it's,
and kind of
it's a
blend it all
description. That's a
together.
good
It is.
description,
It's a
actually.
good mashup.
Well, I felt like it was missing at the time. There wasn't anybody doing it, and I think sometimes as artists we want to just fill in, musical gaps at the time,
Right.
and it worked out, and so it's kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nasri, I think you're being modest. I mean, you've written for huge stars, and you continue to work with like HDR, Chloe and Halle, John Legend, Justin Bieber. But let's talk about your new song, your new album, Inner Love Energy. I'm really impressed with the array of sounds from the first track to even, the Sunflower Fields one and Rich. How proud are you of this album? And I know fans are going to be getting a listen when you play at Axis Club.
Yeah. It's I think again when you come out and then you have this big song and people perceive you a certain way and they're like, oh, like you're like the reggae guy, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can accept that, but like I grew up in Toronto. Like I grew up with many personalities, and so did my bandmates. And so when we started this album, we wanted a kind of connected through line, which was inner love. And then around that, we just decided to be genreless. which is very kind of normal for us because that's what I do. I write for R&B singers, I write for Latin singers, I write for everybody. So we just had fun with it, and like Sunflower Fields is like almost like
idyllic,
like
kind
a Beatles folk song, and then you have
Rich.
Which
I like
I'm
Rich.
Rich. Yeah, I'm Rich. So I'm Rich right now is like the 3rd added song in Brazil.
Wow.
I was like starting to, and it was like number 2 on the Mexican Anglo charts. And so we have a whole other career in like other places in the world. And, we're very lucky, very fortunate, and this is my favorite album for sure. It's, and it's not, I'm kind of a romantic at heart. So like I write a lot of love songs. And then I was like just challenging myself to not write a love song. So this is an album with essentially no love songs.
Right, interesting.
Yeah.
And I got to ask you about the exclamation after Magic.
Yeah.
How should people say the band?
Just scream it, yeah.
Magic!
Magic! Yeah.
There we go.
All right, listen, say hi to your mom before we let you go.
Hi, Mom.
We know
From
she's watching in Scarborough. Nasser, good luck with this. Have a great show. We've got Sunflower Fields, which you were just talking about. We're going to play it to break so people get a
real
listen.
quick, we have an opening act who's a comedian who's going to open for us.
Should be me.
So come to the show. She's going to make you laugh.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Nasser.
Well, yeah, just dream.